Well, young Tim, never trust a wounded golfer.
Ever. And you ever made a 13, signed for a 13 on one hole, Randy?
No, they got an ambulance and took me away before I got that far.
And you know, the toughest part is going to be for this guy who had a 13 today was he's got to stick around to present the jacket to the new, to the new champion. He can't leave town.
And sitting to my left is world-renowned golf writer, traveler Tim Bona. I am Randy Weckerly, and this is Links and Libations Golf Update. And down in the south, witnessing the massacre on 15, throwing some balls onto the fairway to make sure that the player had enough to finish the hole, we have Art Stricklin, world-renowned Texas golf writer.
Down at the Masters. Come on. Hey, Art, how you doing?
Hey, for the record, I've never signed for a 13 either. I just want to get that out right now.
Well, obviously, your critique of Sergio's dinner was spot on because it didn't suit him well, did it?
He didn't have any fortification. What can I say, guys?
What he put? Oh man, Sergio, we love you, but what was it? 4 or 5 balls in the water?
No, 4.
Four.
Get that right.
4.
4 in the water.
And normally a pro only has a couple sleeves in the bag, so it was getting pretty tenuous out there.
Well, somebody went and bought him a bucket at the driving range.
Yeah.
So he could finish the hole.
I think I can say for the record, his second child will not be named Firethorn, which is the name of 15.
Oh, my goodness. But best to you, Sergio, the rest of the week. We love you, but that's our great game. But as Randy was saying, beware of the wounded golfer, Tony Finau.
Well, yeah, maybe too much celebrating. He popped it back in the thing. He's ready to go. But, you know, we talked about how the great anticipation was of the Masters. And then what happens? Charlie Hoffman's up there.
Right.
We had some foreigner who I'm not going to try to pronounce his name.
Hao Tong Li.
Our friend from
him
China.
too.
First time. Right.
And then but, you know, the big names are hanging around. I think the biggest surprise really for anyone is that Tiger Woods really never got it going today. I mean, he looked great when I played with him, but when the boards went live, he never got it over.
Yeah, he made a nice comeback in the back 9 to get it back. What does he finish? 1 over today, Art? I believe.
Hey, Art.
Art's distracted again.
Art.
Are you there, buddy?
Oh, Cliff Roberts is coming after him. Put that phone down, young man.
Yeah,
we can haul him away.
I know. So
yeah, sir.
Tiger never got it going today.
No, but what a great game. Where players in their 60s, Freddie and Bernhard can compete with all these 20-year-olds on Augusta National. They're, it's all about playing the game there at Augusta. What a great layout for again, many generations can compete there.
Yeah, experience. It's all about experience here at Augusta.
Yeah.
Oh, well, are you going to the bistro tonight, Art?
French Market, my friend. French Market.
Yeah, the word is that Les Maisons?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I read a little article about everybody can read the leaderboard later tonight. But the things I found out about, if you go to dinner, at that little magical club where it's white on the outside. You have a nice dinner, have a couple bottles of wine, you don't get a bill at the end of the dinner until a couple weeks later, and it's not atypical to get a bill for around anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000.
Oh, boy.
Because they have one of the best wine collections in the world, Art, and I'm sure that's what you're
no
celebrating every night.
No problem for you.
There you go, Art. $1 a week for 13,000 weeks, and I'll get that covered. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, Tiger's only going to be 4 back, but, not that far back.
No, he's right there. And plus, anybody with 10 shots of the lead
makes the cut. Yeah. Well, what a celebration of the amateur game down there at Augusta. Co-founder Bobby Jones, obviously, for most, knew that he was an amateur his whole life, retiring at age 28. And the Masters Foundation, back starting in 2011 with Billy Payne, put that Asian Pacific amateur together, the Latin American amateur, the drive, chip, and putt. The women's amateur is coming next year to Augusta. It really is a celebration of the amateurs in the game down there, isn't it, Art?
Yeah, it's a great celebration of the game. Obviously, the crow's nest here on the top floor of the clubhouse is where all the amateurs stay. And so, great time, great celebration, and a lot of great golf to be played. Don't count out the no names, but don't count out the big names either. That's
right.
what we learned today.
And unfortunately, our amateur firefighter, Matt Parzelli, he shot 81 today. Is that correct? Is that what you hear down there?
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Did you get up early enough to see Mr. Nicholas, Mr. Player, this morning at all?
It was chilly this morning.
I did. No, I was there, right there when it happened.
Oh,
Great.
Oh, my
They both looked like they had a tear in their eye. Art, did you notice that?
Well, it's part of what makes a master special.
So much emotion. Art Stricklin joins us, Texas golf expert, a major expert, Augusta National Masters expert. Is down in Augusta this week for the 82nd Masters. Many say, confirm that this is the best run golf tournament in the world, Art. It's the youngest major in golf, but it's also the oldest modern one. It has no advertising banners. It's the first stadium course. Bleachers, or as observation stands, Roberts used to call them. They're first to rope the galleries, first 72-hole tournaments over 4 days, and they play for a jacket. Oh, my goodness, Art. What a great event.
Yeah, great event. Hey, let's do this again tomorrow. I got to go before the police get me.
They're going to throw them out. All right, Art, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Get out of there.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Talk to you tomorrow, 4:45.
Again, it's a very conservative institution down there.
Well,
decorum needs to be proper.
If you're going to go down there, young Tim, you better read the history books and what that one's about. But you can go down and play golf in the area.
Yes.
I did find a golf course for when we go down there. People are going down there. It's called the Goshen Plantation Country Club. During the weekends, most generally, it's $29 during the week, $39 on the weekends. However, this time of year, potentially a little more, $100. Not bad.
Oh, yeah.
Being the South.
Down there on the tranquil banks of the Savannah River,
Yeah.
which divides Georgia from South Carolina, the Garden City of American South, Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Did you know most of the players stay in their in homes down there?
They do.
Yeah.
And I would imagine Dustin Johnson, after last year, his wife said, just walk around the house barefoot.
Yeah.
Or maybe he got him those special slippers with the little rubber dots on the bottom.
Yeah, or the rubber duckies like you put in your shower.
Oh.
That was bad.
Socks on hardwood steps is not good. And
So who looks good? Who looks good after watching the daytime?
My guy's Bryson DeChambeau.
How did he do?
I think he was 2 over the last time I checked.
And he came back.
But traditionally the pins on the first day are always the toughest of the week on those shelves.
Yeah.
And Henrik Stenson, why didn't any of us pick Henrik?
And I was going to.
What a great iron player.
I know. He's putting a driver in his bag.
Yeah, and apparently he's never been able to figure out these greens. But he's the best iron player out there.
He's never used a driver at this course. It's the first year that he's had a driver in the bag.
Well, he's got that metal 3 with that.
Yeah. And I think it was 12, 13 degrees, something like that.
That's his whole career.
But they said they called his driver the towel rod. Because that's all he used it for. This thing is towel in his bag. But, no, it's fast. And then Sergio, you saw Sergio. Can you imagine
making his 13
and hitting wedges?
Well, the pin was on the front, folks,
Yeah.
15, and he threw a few only 8 to 10 feet back, past the pin with the spin.
Right.
They just roll right down into the water. You got to fly at 30 feet by.
Yeah.
Unless you're coming in with a long iron like our friend from China did. I can't pronounce his name.
Hao Tung Lee.
Yes. He came in from, hit the green in 2. Sergio was pitching it from what?
Yeah.
100 yards, 80
Yeah,
yards?
80 yards, yeah.
So you got to throw it past, and he spun it back. And, traditionally they say at Augusta, you got to keep it under the hole, but not in this case.
Well, Hao Tung Lee, he's interesting. He was in, I think, the quarterfinals of the match play a couple weeks ago.
Right.
And he is from originally, he was from Shanghai, lives in Hunan, which is like the Hawaii of China now. And but he's a credible player. He played in the Olympics for China. He won over in Dubai. He won another. I can't remember where the other one was, but he's won twice on the European Tour. So
the first China, our friend from China, in the top 50 of the world ever, I think.
Yep, that's how he got in. Did you ever see the driving ranges that how they teach kids in China?
No.
Well,
stacked on the tiers?
No, they actually have. It's beautiful. It's in that grouping. They showed it, but they'll have like 1,000 kids and a couple hundred teachers, and they teach them this thing called the Tiger Woods swing.
Really?
Yeah, and they're all dressed in like they're going out to the PGA Tour, and the parents are behind them. They're very proper.
Right.
They practice, of course, with that work ethic, and they wanted to produce these players, and they're coming along. Hao Tung Lee's a real deal. I mean, he is. even though it's his first time, outside chance. But he did well today. Give him credit.
Yeah. Well, when I think of our friends from Asia, particularly the female players, they swing so rhythmically.
Yeah.
So, they wait for it. And just, So the guys are going after it like Tiger over there, huh?
They teach that swing, and again, everybody grew up with, when I was growing up, was the Nicholas swing, which is a little.
Oh,
bit
I read
different.
the book too.
Yeah, still have it. Golf My Way.
Golf My Way.
Jack Grout was his teacher, and you know what they did the first day, 2 days every year with Mr.
What's
Nicholas
that?
and Jack Grout. He first day they worked on his grip. That's all they did. He made sure his grip fit on the club. Second day they worked on his head, and Mr. Grout would sit there and hold his hair. And he would sit there, and Jack would have to swing while he held a handful of hair. And the third day, they worked on his weight transfer, just on his feet.
So don't can your kid the driver right away. Work from the little shots up to the big shots after you have a proper grip and posture.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to go out a quote here from one of our friends who I believe we've interviewed over the years, David Owen. Sure, you can bring that music up and we'll go out with it. But David Owen shares in the final pages of his book, the appreciative patients completing their lifelong pilgrimage to Augusta, Georgia, celebrating the significance of it all. Well, some of the younger galleries there possibly just came to just breathe the air and take in the smells of the blooming azaleas, magnolias, and dogwoods. But David said, and nearby, waiting among old friends, is a woman who has attended every master since the end of the Second World War. Someone asked her which of those 50-odd tournaments she'd like the best. She thinks back over 5 decades of competition, a period that defined the true coming of age of the American golf and encompassed unforgettable performances by Snead, Hogan, Palmer, Player, Nicklaus, Watson, Ballesteros, Crenshaw, Felder, Woods, and so many others. And she answers, I think this one is going to be my favorite.
Isn't that great?
Enjoy the Masters, folks.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to bring out the ZT Response Butter.
There you go.
All right. Talk to you later.